Hello again. Continuing on with the Audacity tutorial, one of the great things that you might want to do with Audacity is record your old vinyl records or cassette tapes onto either CDs or onto an iPod in MP3 format, and that's a great thing you can do with it. You're going to need a couple of things, however, and I've done this before, so I'll give you a couple of tips. You might need, first of all, you'll need a cable. Fairly long cable so that it reaches to your player of whatever you've got, record player. Now if it's an old record player like my one, it'll have a big jack like that. I think that's called a 2.5 jack or something, or it might be bigger. Anyway, you'll see the difference between the small jack, which is the one that goes into the computer, and the big jack. So you can get all these things from Dick Smith or Tandy or wherever favourite place you want to go to. Make sure that they're stereo. They've got two black bars on them, makes them stereo. And if you're and buy a cable that's got two small ones on it, just in case your device only requires a small one, and this extra plug can just plug in if you need the big one. You see, so that's quite handy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you how to plug it in. The only device I've got here is a television, but you'll see how it works. It'll just record the audio off the television. I'm on 201 Jazz at the moment, so you'll hear that. I'll plug it into the television, into the earphone socket. Okay? So most of those devices won't have an output. You'll just plug them into the earphone socket of your device and into your computer on the side. Make sure you put it into the microphone line in, and what will probably happen is you'll notice that you'll get Windows telling you, oh, I'm not using the microphone in anymore, which is the built-in microphone of your laptop. I'm using the line in. Of course, if you've got a desktop, you probably won't get this. So you click line in, and make sure that the line-in volume is pretty high. I tested it earlier and made sure that was about the right one. And then you can just close that window off once that's, or click OK once that's finished. Okay, so we're on to Audacity. We've got a blank Audacity, and we're going to start recording music. And I'm just going to turn the music on, the TV. I've got it muted at the moment, and then I'm going to press the record button, which will create stereo tracks. And we'll check out things like the volume. Make sure the volume, you'll see up here, the volume level, we'll make sure that's nice and high. For the microphone, it doesn't matter too much about the playback at the moment, the microphone has to be nice and high. And then over here we'll look at, we'll look at the level of the microphone. It should be pretty high, otherwise you'll get a very small, quiet recording. So we're plugged in. I'll unmute the television, and it's actually recording. It's going through the computer now. You can't hear it, but you'll see it recording in a minute when I press the record button. Now before I start, I just remembered I better tell you that my microphone from my screen capture will be disconnected while I do the recording, because you can only have one thing recording at once. So you won't hear me talking for a little while. Probably be glad of that. And we'll see how we go with our recording. Let's give it a try. Okay, that sometimes happens with this screen recording software, so I'll just get by this problem and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, I'm back on the air, I think, vocally. Now, when we did that recording, you may have noticed, I was hovering around here, it's fairly low on the output level. It's not high enough. It should go at least to the 0.5, and we're already up maximum in our volume on Audacity. So what I did, you notice, as we went through, I changed the volume on my television set. So that's what you should do as a test before you actually make your final recording. Just do a bit of increasing the volume, checking this level to make sure it's about 0.5 at the highest. Could go a little bit higher if it's a loud track, because sometimes, but that music that I had on just then accidentally was just very, very plain music, quite nice, but it didn't have too many highs and lows, so it was all at the one level. So you'll get used to it as you record and play with it. and you can use all of the techniques that I've shown you or will show you for editing. You can select bits of tracks and delete them, or you can go to the effects and add fade outs, like if you add a fade out to this track here, see how it just goes like that. So there's lots of little things you can put into your recording. With records, I know my father-in-law recorded all of his records, because if you want to, you can stop it after each track, but you might as well just let it go for the whole side, and then you can edit them later and save each one individually as a song. If you want to. You don't have to do that, of course, but if you're meticulous about things, that could be what you want to do. Audacity is the thing to use for all of that. So I'll stop this recording now, and hopefully you've learned something or might have some questions for me later.